did return a yes vote. And in the aftermath of September the 18th, despite the fact that some consider that it was only going to be a once-in-a-generation opportunity, there really has been a coalescing of all those disparate groups that made up the Yes campaign. And of course, as Ed was mentioning there, the SNP has gained simply, first of all, in terms of members of their party, but of course expected to pick up plenty of seats. Let's delve a little bit more deeply into the referendum and what it means for the changing landscape here in Scotland. We're going to be speaking with Lauren Aitchison, who's the political editor of the Scottish Statesman, and Carrie Duncan, who, and I'm sorry, this is terribly ungallant of me to mention your age, but you're 17 and you had your vote in the referendum. Now, Carrie, speak to you first. You won't have a vote come the general election. So as someone who had that opportunity to make her voice heard during the referendum itself, I mean, how important was it to you?
I think it was really important to every young person. It makes you feel like you have a say in the future of your country, and makes you feel like your opinions are important. And to not have a say in the general election it'll make people feel really disillusioned about politics, because it's kind of like saying to young people, your opinion's not as important to us. You know, we're not going to give you the platform to express your opinions in a way that can actually make a difference. And that's big, I think. But especially when you're trying to involve young people in politics, if you're not giving them the opportunity to actually do so, you're not going to achieve that.
And Lauren, those people who came in, 16, 17-year-olds who had that vote for the first time, I mean, they were part of a really energetic grassroots campaign, admittedly on both sides of it, but at times it did feel that Yes benefited far more from the enthusiasm of those young people than perhaps Better Together.
Yeah, absolutely. And having been to different conferences like SNP conference and the Radical Independence one, some of the best speakers I heard were 17, 18-year-olds. Young people, and so to hear them speak so passionately about politics and then for them to now not be given a voice in the general election seems insane to me.
Lauren, in terms of what the SNP have done and potentially could do, we were talking, you wouldn't have heard, Bennett Conley was talking there about how many seats they might pick up. Some have suspected that the Labour Party are going to be wiped out here in Scotland. I mean, it's not going to be as dramatic as that, but the SNP really could hold the balance of power down in Westminster.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's something now that we're talking about. When it comes to minority governments, SNP are absolute masters of that, and I don't think that they're going to feel pressured into teaming up with other political parties in the way that sort of Labour and the Tories traditionally have. They have that pressure. SNP are quite happy to hold the power and form minority government.
Carrie, moving forward from September the 18th, and given the fact that you did have a say, and in years gone past, you really wouldn't have had that opportunity. I mean, how have those who got the chance to vote changed their views about politics? I mean, are you seeing people more engaged with politics than before?
Definitely. I think that the referendum sparked a sort of passion for everybody in politics, with especially young people, and I think that passion's sort of ongoing, and I see it as an opportunity now to sort of encourage young people to have a say. And if you can give votes to 16, 17-year-olds while they've still got this passion going on, it'll have really positive effects. I think that if you give the vote to 16, 17-year-olds in terms of the general election, it'll have great effects.
Lauren, tell me a little bit. Lauren, tell me just a little bit more, if you can, just about the SNP. I mean, we're hearing from Carrie there about the passion that's being shown. The only party that seems to be benefiting from that passion, I'm afraid, looks to be the SNP.
Yes, I think at the moment, I think people don't forget in Scotland when it came to the referendum, and I think that Labour are really going to feel that after high-fiving the Tories when the no vote came through. I don't think anyone's going to forget that very quickly. But I think there's also a place for the Green Party in Scotland still that we'll see more as we come up to the general election.
Very interesting to keep an eye on exactly what happens here in Dundee West. The Labour seat, thanks both of you, Carrie and Lauren, a Labour seat, as we were mentioning there, held with a majority of 7,000. Years gone past, absolutely safe Labour territory. Come May, who knows what's going to happen.